Arvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Guru Dev ki jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalala Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Sharda Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shikor Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदाते गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Wait, let me check the calendar really quick to see if today's any special date. No. All right. We'll do the Mangala Charana. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Kodiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukhang Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radharasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayang Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vrishabhanusutan Vitavamatanum Yamuna Tatanagara Sutam Murali Kalagita Vinora Parang Bhajagodrumakanana Kunja Vidum Smara Gaura Gadadara Keli Kalang Bhava Gaura Gadadara Pakshachara Shrinu Gaura Gadadara Charukatham Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Twang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptascha Kamadittaranga Madhye Kripamai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, Pradumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, is it Premavati Didi? And I see it says there are 7 people on YouTube and Facebook. I'm guessing Indira Mataji is there and a bunch of other people. If you write a comment, I'll see who you are. Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining. We are continuing our reading of Jaiva-dharma. We're on chapter, I think, 22. We're going over the last tattva in the Daśa-mūla, in the 10 fundamental teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our entire Gaudiya Siddhanta encapsulated into 10 essential fundamental points. So the last one is Krishna Prem, that our aim and object is to love Krishna. Well, love's a very weak word, but yeah, Krishna Prem. All right. Wait 1 second, I'm just seeing. Oh, Pradumna Prabhu, he's asking, when did Jaiva-dharma occur? Well, this is soon after the time of Mahaprabhu, right? It's like right after Mahaprabhu's, because so many, what is it? Yeah. Yeah, these are associates of Mahaprabhu. Like we just saw Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur gave the instruction to Vijay Kumar to have darshan of Mahaprabhu's birthplace. And even Prem Das Babaji Maharaj is also an associate of Mahaprabhu and like that. So, all right. But this seems to be like, when, yeah, this is after the time of Mahaprabhu and most of Mahaprabhu's associates. Because Vrindavan Das Thakur, yes. Yeah, anyways, okay. So, first we'll begin going over the introduction verse of Daśa-mūla-tattva, like we always do. So, on the first line, it explains our evidence, which proves the 9 following points. They're called prameyas. Prameyas mean that which is proven by the evidence. So first, what is the evidence? That is called praman. Evidence is called praman. So what is our praman? It is amnaya. Amnaya means the teachings of the Vedas that are received through in a sat sampradaya, through the Guru Parampara. That is called amnaya. Amnaya vakya. So that amnaya explains these 9 points, that 3 related to Hari, 3 related to the Jiva. The next is how all of this connects together, and then what. So that's all on the topic of Sambandha, and then Abhideya is what our sadhan is, which is Shuddha Bhakti, and Prayojan, which means what our sadhya is, what our goal is, which is Tat Pritim or Krishna Prem. So let's. So the first 3 related to Sri Hari is that he is the Parama Tattva. Tattvam Harim Iha Paramam. See in yellow here. And he is Sarva Shaktim. He is Sarva Shaktiman. He is a possessor of all potencies. And he is Rasabdim. He is an ocean of ras. Now, in the second line, the three related to the jivas are um, the jivas are jivan is plural for jivas. So jivan, tad, his bhinna separated anksha parts. So the jivas are his separated parts. Those jivas they're either baddha, they are bound, or they're mukta, or they're liberated. So the bound jivas are prakriti kavalitan. They are swallowed by Maya. They are completely bound and controlled, covered by Maya. And the liberated jivas are tad vimuktangs. Tad here refers to the prakriti, to the material energy. They are free, vimukta. They are free from the material energy. Now, sakalam. Sakala means everything. Everything in existence is a prakash, is a manifestation of Hari, which is separate from Hari and also not separate from Hari. Our sadhan is Shuddha Bhakti. Our sadhya is Priti, Krishna Prem. This is, so Gaurachandra, in this way, he instructs the people. Upadishati means he instructs Janan, the people. Gaurachandra Swayangsa. Gaurachandra, who is Swayam, who is himself that same Hari, who is the Paramatattva, Sarvashaktiman, Akila Rasamrita Sindhu. That same Swayam, that same Gaurachandra, I mean himself. Swayam means, right? Himself. Okay, so let's recite the Sanskrit. Amnaya prahatattvang harimiha paramang sarvashakting rasabdhing tad bhinnangshangscha jivan prakriti kavalitan tad vimuktangscha bhavar bheda bheda prakasham sakalamapi hare sadhanam shuddha bhakting sadhyam tat pritimevetyupadishati janan Gaurachandra Swayangsa. And now we are on the last two verses of Daśa-mūla, which are all on the topic of our sadhya, which is Tat Pritim, love for him, love for Sri Krishna, Krishna Prem. Okay, I'll explain the Sanskrit like I did the other 2 days. So when the jiva becomes situated in his swarup, swarup avastane, when he is situated in his swarup, the state of bhav in madhur ras dawns within him. Madhur rasa bhavodaya iha. So, bhav in madhur ras uday, that means arises or dawns within him. And he carries in his heart the mood of being a follower of the dear companions of Shishi Radha Krishna in Vraj. So Vahan means he carries, Hridi, within his heart, the bhav, the mood of being a jana, a follower of Radha Krishna Swajan, of the associates of Radha Krishna. Iha means here, Vraje, in Vraj. Aho, see that right there on the last word on the third line. Aho, aho, in utter ecstasy. Paranande, that means in supreme bliss. Paranande. He attains. Sa means he. Labate means attains. He attains two things. He attains pritim. That means pritim means prem or love, which is a treasure. Sampat means a treasure. Sukham of joy. That is jagara atula, which is incomparable within this world, unparalleled within this world. And he also attains parama paricharyam. That means the supreme, the highest service. Paricharya means service. He attains the highest service. In the tattva, tattva means in the tattva, akya means known as, and vilas. In the tattva, known as vilas. Vilas is the Lord's playful pastimes. And I want to understand these words better so that we can make the translation more clear. I'm hoping it will be clarified in our reading today. We'll see though. I haven't read the chapter yet either. So, anyhow. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, there is no greater gain than this for the jiva. So that's the first verse. Now the second verse is, who is the Lord? Prabhu ka. Who am I, the living entity? Um, jiva, sorry, ko jiva. Katam, sorry, what is the material, what is this material world? Katam, what? Idam, this? Achid Vishvam, what is this Achid Vishwa, this material world? Iti. Iti is like, what did I say? Quotation marks in Sanskrit. So, reflecting on these topics, vicharyaitan arthan, reflecting on these topics, a person engaged in bhajan, Hari Bhajana Krit, Hari Bhajana Krit, Krit means, who's engaging in Hari Bhajan, and who is Shastra Chatura, who is expert in Shastra. Oh, and you might be wondering, why is it Krit and why is it Shastra? It's because of Sandhi. When you have Krit and when you have Krit like that, then it merges, according to the rules of Sandhi, it becomes Ch and Ch. So, so that person who is reflecting on these topics, vicharyaitan aratan, these topics of who is the Lord, who am I, the living entity, what is this material world, and who is engaged in Hari Bhajan, an expert in the Shastras, and who has pariharan. Pariharan means who has abandoned, who has given up any desire, any asha for abheda, for oneness, merging in with the absolute. And who is pariharan, who has given up dharman, sakalan, all different types of dharma or adharma, pious and impious acts. And pariharan, who has given up aparad, any kinds of offenses, especially Vaishnava aparad, Nam aparad and Vaishnava aparad, Dham aparad, Seva aparad, who's given up all the aparad. He drinks. Pivati means drinks. Who? Haridasa, that servant of Hari, in Hari Janai, in the association of Hari's own people, Hari's associates. He drinks the Ananda, the bliss of Harer Nam, of the holy names of Shri Hari, of Shri Hari's names. And then there's a benediction verse. By cultivating these 10 fundamental truths, the living entity destroys the disease of ignorance, and through the association of saintly persons, he attains the nourishment of bhav and complete satisfaction. Sangsevya dashamulang vai hitva avidya mayam jana bhava pushtim tata tushtim labate sadhu sangataha. All right, so that's it. That's the full Daśa-mūla-tattva. We'll go over this again at some point. Maybe I want to do a full reading of Jaiva-dharma. Right now we're just reading the second part of Jaiva-dharma. So, now something I thought what might be nice to do, or maybe we should do it tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, because it's already kind of late. But I was thinking it'd be nice to go through all the definitions of Hare Krishna. It'd be nice to go through all the definitions. What is sadhan bhakti? What is a sadhak? What is Vaidhi bhakti? What is ragatmika bhakti? And what is rag? What is raganuga? What's the qualification for raganuga bhakti? All these different topics. Um, Then there's 5 types of Raganuga Sadhan. Anyhow, this is my plan today, but now I'm seeing it's already 7:23. So, okay, let's just go over this because we're on the topic of Bhav Bhakti. So let's look at this verse, this definition of what is Bhav Bhakti. But then on another day, maybe tomorrow or we'll see when, we'll go through all these definitions so that we can become very clear on, because it's important to know exactly what is Vaidhi Bhakti, what is Rag, what is Raganuga, what is Ragatmika. All those topics are very important. So it's good to become clear exactly how. But let's go through Bhav Bhakti. So Bhav Bhakti is not obtained. It's not something like this. Rather, by continual performance of kirtan limbs of bhakti, when bhakti attains maturity, it automatically cleanses all misgivings from the heart of the sadhak. At that time, bhav bhakti manifests itself in a transparent heart by the mercy of Sri Krishna or his devotees. Oh, Haribol Sarveshwari Mataji. Sorry, I didn't see you before. And Vangshi Walapu. Hare Krishna. So here's the definition by Srila Rupa Goswami. Shuddha sattva visheshatma prema suryangshu samya bhak ruchibhish chittamasrinya krid asau bhava uchyate. So that bhakti, which is the embodiment of Shuddha Sattva, which is compared to which is compared to a ray of the sun of Prem, and which melts the heart by various tastes, is called bhav. So let's see, Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, whose nature is distinguished as Shuddha Sattva, Shuddha Sattva, unadulterated goodness. But that's actually not like, there isn't really an English translation of Shuddha Sattva, I think. But pure, unadulterated Sattva. Sattva is like, I don't know, how do you translate Sattva? It's pure existence, it's goodness, yeah, I don't know. So it is Prema Surya Angshu. Angshu means a ray of the sun, Surya of Prem. Prema Surya Angshu. Samyabhak. It's similar to a ray of the sun of Prem. And that ray of the sun of Prem, it shines on the heart and masrinya, it melts the chitta. It melts the chitta ruchibi by different types of tastes. Kridaso bhava uchate. So that which causes this is called uchate, is called bhav. Okay. So I'm just there's it says sat means existence. Shuddha sattva in the atma. Shuddha sattva is in the atma. Mishra sattva means it's mixed with passion and ignorance. Everyone in this world is covered by Mishra sattva. When Hladini and Sambit comes from the heart of a Nitya Parikar, an eternal associate of the Lord, to our heart on the platform of Sandhini, it is called Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, or Vishuddha Sattva. So Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma and Vishuddha Sattva is the same thing. The V, I guess, means Vishesh in Vishuddha Sattva. Okay. And we know Sandhini, that's like Baladev Prabhu. He is the one who establishes the platform on which Radha and Krishna perform all their pastimes, right? He manifests as the Dham. And so he also makes the first, before Krishna appears, he manifests the Dham, all the associates, all the paraphernalia, everything. Um, and in the same way, he also, like Sri Guru is, Nityananda Prabhu or Baladev Prabhu is a Kanda Guru Tattva. And so Srila Gurudev, he comes and he makes our heart clean and pure and makes it suitable for the Hladini and Samvit to come into it. We were just reading yesterday, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was explaining how first Samvit, well, Samvit combines with Hladini. So Samvit is our knowledge of Krishna, who we are, our relationship, all the moods of Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, all those moods, like having understanding of that, realization, that's real knowledge, right? Is of our relationship with Krishna. And then Hladini is the bliss, the joy, the ananda that is felt in those relationships. So those both combine together and they enter the heart on the platform of Sandhini, which is and then so then when that ray of the son of Prem touches that heart, then the heart melts. And the melting of the heart was here. Let's see. So Bhav Bhakti is a special manifestation of Shuddha Sattva. In other words, the constitutional characteristic of Bhav Bhakti is that it is a phenomenon entirely constituted of Shuddha Sattva. It is like a ray, it is like a kiran, or the word in the verse was angshu, right? It's like a ray, a kiran of the son of Prem, and it softens the heart. Masurinya was the word for softening, right? By various tastes, ruchi. When the sadhan, sorry, when sadhan bhakti succeeds in softening the heart by various tastes, it is called bhav bhakti. Now the word ruchi in this verse, it softens it by different tastes. Those different tastes are Bhagavad Prapti Abhilash, or Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur just wrote Prapti Abhilash. So that means a desire for the attainment of Krishna. Then Anukulya Abhilash, that's the desire to do that which is favorable to Krishna. And Soharda Abhilash, that's the desire to serve the Lord with affection. Soharda. Harda means heart, doesn't it? With all one's heart, with all one's affection. And I'm guessing that's what it means. Anyways. Um, So the constitutional identity, the surup of Bhav Bhakti, is that it is fully composed of Shuddha Sattva. The words Shuddha Sattva refer to the self-manifest cognitive function, the samvit vritti of the Lord's own internal spiritual energy known as Sarup Shakti. The addition of the word Vishesh to the words Shuddha Sattva indicates the second supreme potency, the Mahashakti of Sarup Shakti known as Hladini. Okay, so now it makes more sense. Shuddha Sattva refers just to Samvit, the Lord's, but then the Vishesh refers to Hladini, which is the supreme potency of the Sarup Shakti. Interesting. Okay. It should be understood it should be understood from this that the condition known as Mahabhav, which is the highest state of development of the Hladini Shakti, is also included within Shuddha Sattva Vishesh. Therefore, that supreme function, that Param Pravritti, which is fully possessed of the desire favorable to Sri Krishna, which is the essence of the combination of the Samvit and Hladini potencies, and which is situated in the hearts of the Lord's eternal associates, being indistinguishably unified with the condition of their hearts, Tadatma Bhav, is known as Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. In simpler language, the Nitya Siddha Bhav, the eternally perfected mood, situated in the hearts of the this Thakur has explained data. So hopefully my mobile data is fast enough. Let's see, actually, I'm going to just do a speed test. Can you all hear me okay? Let's see. I'm just checking how fast the internet. Ooh, that's pretty fast. Okay, I think this will work. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my Wi-Fi today. Okay, so where were we? If Prem is compared with the sun, then Bhav can be said to be a ray of the sun of Prem. Bhav, which is the identity of Vishuddha Sattva, melts the heart by various kinds of taste, ruchi. At first, while describing, one second, I'm going to shut the door because people are talking too loud. Okay, sorry. Bhav, which is of the identity of, sorry, melts the heart by various tastes, ruchi. At first, while describing the general symptoms of bhakti, it was said that bhakti involves the cultivation of activities in relation to Krishna, Krishnanushilanam. The state in which that cultivation becomes saturated with Vishuddha Sattva and softens the heart by ruchi is called bhav. When bhav makes its appearance within the faculty of the mind, it attains the state of identification with the mental faculty. In reality, bhav is a self-manifest condition, but when it makes its appearance within the mental faculty, it appears as though it was brought into manifestation by the faculty of the mind. That which is referred to here as bhav is also known as rati. Although rati is itself relishable, it is understood to be the cause of tasting Sri Krishna and various paraphernalia related to Sri Krishna. It should be understood here that rati, and the word rati also means love or an affection, is that particular bhav, and the word bhav also means love, affection, or emotion. So rati is that particular bhav which is a fully spiritual reality, chit tattva. It is not a substance belonging to the world of inert matter. The rati, the mundane affection which the Baddha jivas have towards mundane sense objects, is merely a perverted reflection arising from contact with matter of a fragmented portion of the true spiritual bhav of the jiva. When within the world of matter, one takes up the cultivation of activities in relationship with Bhagavan, then rati in its cognitive aspect, the samvit anksha, becomes the cause of tasting worthy objects which are related to Bhagavan. At the same time, by virtue of its pleasure-giving aspect, hladini, rati itself bestows spiritual delight. And then yesterday we ended with Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj's explanation of this verse. These are the 9 symptoms of bhav. So he explained Shantir avyartha kalatvam, viraktir manashunyata, ashabandha samutkanta, nama gane sadaruchi. So these are the symptoms of bhav that when first is shanti, that means forbearance or tolerance. Avyartha kalatva, that means effective use of one's time. Virakti, detachment from worldly enjoyment. Manashunyata, absence of pride. Ashabandha, steadfast hope that Krishna will bestow his mercy. And samutkanta, that's intense longing to obtain one's goal. And nam gane sada ruchi, always possessed of taste to chant the name. Now the second verse. Asaktistar gunakyane pritistad vasatistale ityadayo nubhavasyur jata bhavankure jane. So then comes tad gunakyane asakti, attachments to hearing narrations of the Lord's qualities, and tad vasati stale priti, affection for the transcendental residence of the Lord and of the places of the Lord. So these are the 9 sprouts of love of God, priti, or in other words, the symptoms of the appearance of bhav. And then he gives there's an example for each one. Like an example of kshanti, forbearance and tolerance is Maharaj Parikshit. of avyartha kalatva, not wasting any time. Effective use of one's time is examples Maharaj Ambarish. And like this, explains it all in detail. But we only have 20 more minutes left to read, so let's go. Now we're going to read about um, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. There is the following description of Ratyabhash. Wait, let's read this one paragraph and then we'll continue. So these 9 symptoms, these anubhavs, are manifest in the devotee in whose heart the sprout of bhav has arisen. It may be understood that the devotee in whom the sprout of love is visible has become eligible to receive the direct audience of Krishna. If some of these symptoms of bhav are perceived in karmis who are anxious for material sense enjoyment or jnanis who aspire for liberation, then one should know this to be but a reflection, a pratibimba of bhav. This should not be considered as genuine manifestation of bhav. If the symptoms of bhav are seen in ignorant persons by virtue of their association with devotees, this is known as a shadow, a chaya of rati. And then in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there's the following description of rati abhas, the semblance of rati. So rati abhas has 2 kinds. There's pratibimba and chaya. And so this is what we're going to be reading about today in Jaiva-dharma. So Brajanath asks, should we understand that rati towards Krishna has arisen in every individual in whom we observe this kind of emotion? Babaji, no. Rati is emotion, is bhav, that arises spontaneously towards Krishna. Similar emotion may be observed in relation to other objects, but it cannot be called rati. Vrajanath, will you kindly give 1 or 2 examples to make this subject clear? Babaji, suppose a man desires liberation, but the dry and difficult worship of the Nirvishesh Brahma seems troublesome to him. Then he hears from somewhere that he can easily attain mukti simply by uttering the names of Bhagavan. For example, Ajamil obtained mukti easily by uttering the name of Narayan. When the man hears this, he becomes overjoyed. As he remembers the power of Sri Nam to give liberation, he becomes agitated with ecstasy, thinking that he will receive liberation easily. He chants Sri Harinam, weeps continuously, and falls down unconscious. In this instance, the name uttered by the sadhak who desires liberation is not Shuddhanam, and the bhav that he displays is not Krishna Rati, it's not Shuddha bhav, because his spontaneous feeling is not directed towards Krishna. His main objective is to obtain mukti and not Krishna Prem. The name that he utters is called Nam Abhas, and his emotional display, his bhav, is called Bhav Abhas. Another example is that of a person who worships Durga Devi in order to obtain material enjoyment. He prays, "Please give me benedictions, please give me wealth." Then, thinking that Durga Devi will fulfill his heart's desire as soon as she becomes pleased, he exclaims, "Oh Durga!" and he rolls on the ground before her crying. This person's bhav, when he cries and falls on the ground, is not Shuddha bhav. It is sometimes described as bhavabhas, and sometimes as false or impure emotion, kubhav. Bhav cannot arise unless one performs unadulterated worship of Krishna, Shuddha Krishna bhajan. Bhav is known as kubhav or bhav abhas if it arises from a desire for material enjoyment, bhog, or liberation, moksha, even if it is related to Krishna. The word kubhav refers to any sort of bhav that may arise in the heart of one who is contaminated with Mayavad philosophy. Even if such person lies unconscious for 7 prahars, this display cannot be called a bhav. Aho! Even the most elevated liberated souls, who are freed from all kinds of desires, incessantly search out Bhagavad Rati. It is the supreme secret, and Krishna does not easily bestow it, even on completely sincere bhaktas whose practice of bhajan is fully accomplished. How then can it arise in the hearts of those who do not have Shuddha Bhakti, and who are contaminated with desires for material enjoyment and liberation? Rajanath. Prabhu, It is often observed that when those who desire material enjoyment and liberation perform Harinam Sankirtan, they manifest the bodily symptoms of bhav that you have described. How is this to be understood? Babaji, only foolish people are astonished to see the external symptoms of bhav in such people. Those who understand bhav-tattva properly call this sort of bhav the semblance of rati, ratyabhas, and they remain far away from it. Vijay, how many kinds of ratyabhas are there? Babaji, there are two kinds of ratyabhas, and it's rati abhas, but then because of sandhi, it becomes ratyabhas. So yeah, so the I turns into a Y because it's followed by a vowel. So that's why it becomes ratyabhas. So there are two kinds of ratyabhas. Reflected ratyabhas, that's called pratibimba ratyabhas, and shadow ratyabhas, that's chaya ratyabhas. Okay, so pratibimba means a reflection, and chaya means a shadow. So what is pratibimba ratyabhas, Vijay asks? Babaji. People who desire liberation think that one can only obtain mukti through Brahma Gyan, but the spiritual discipline of Brahma Gyan is difficult and troublesome. Some of them come to understand that mukti may be achieved simply by performing Harinam, and that one may obtain Brahma Gyan in this way very easily and without hard labor. When they think like this, they become blissful, expecting to obtain mukti without having to undergo great difficulty. Then this semblance, this abhas of the bodily transformations, such as tears, horripilation, etc., appear in their bodies. Such transformations are known as pratibimba abhas. So why is it pratibimba? Well, like a reflection, because a reflection, it looks like the thing, but there's no connection with it, right? Like you'll see a tree in the reflection of the water, and so if you look at the water, it looks like a tree, but it's actually it's not even like the tree is not connected to the reflection, and so there's like yeah, no connection basically. So Brajanath, why are they called reflected pratibimba? Babaji. If those who desire liberation or material sense enjoyment have the good fortune to associate with advanced bhaktas, they also begin to adopt the processes. They adopt the processes of Harinam Kirtan and so on. At that time, some reflection of the Bhav moon in the sky of the Shuddha Bhakta's heart also appears in the heart of those who are thirsty for liberation. This reflection is called pratibimba. Shuddha Bhav, pure Bhav, never arises in the hearts of those who desire material sense enjoyment or liberation. But Bhav Abhas arises in them when they see the Bhav of Shuddha Bhaktas. That Bhav Abhas is known as Pratibimba Abhas, and it does not generally produce any enduring benefit. It only bestows material enjoyment and liberation, and then it disappears. Such Bhav Abhas may also be understood to be a kind of Nam Aparad. Interesting, huh? Bhav Abhas is also known as Nam Aparad. This Pratibimban Bhav Abhas. Vrajanath, please explain the nature of Chaya Bhavabhas. That's a shadow of a semblance of Bhav. Babaji. And a shadow does have some connection with the objects, right? Like a reflection doesn't have any connection, right? A reflection of the tree is the reflection is not touching the tree, but at least a shadow is like touching the tree. It's coming from the tree like that. So, um, so please explain the nature of Chaya Bhavavas, Babaji. When a Kanishta Bhakta who is unacquainted with knowledge of the self, with Atma Tattva, associates with activities, time, places, and bhaktas that are dear to Hari, a shadow, a chaya of Rati may appear. Compared to Rati itself, the shadow is insignificant by nature and unsteady, but it creates curiosity. as to the rati the Shuddha Bhaktas experience, and it destroys sorrows. This is called Chaya Rati Abhas. The bhakti of these bhaktas may be pure up to a certain limit, but it is not resolute, and that is why it gives rise to Ratyabhas. In any case, such Chaya Bhavabhas only arises through the influence of many pious activities. By the association of Vaishnavas, Satsanga, Chaya Bhav Abhas becomes pure and subsequently gives rise to Shuddha Bhav. Nonetheless, one should bear in mind that no matter how developed this Bhav Abhas may be, it gradually wanes like the moon in the dark half of a lunar month if one commits some offense towards a pure Vaishnav. What to speak of Bhav Abhas? Even Shuddha Bhav will gradually vanish if one commits offenses towards Krishna's bhaktas. Wow, that's heavy. Even if somebody has pure bhav, they've gotten to such a high stage, if they commit offenses towards Krishna's devotees, then even at the stage, they have pure bhav. Even at that stage, their pure bhav will start to vanish. What to speak of us with, like sometimes we feel some emotion, right? That's, like where we're in Srila Gurudev's Hari Katha, or we're in, and there's like so much, or we hear beautiful glorifications and and we start to feel some emotion. So that's not that's not Shuddha Bhav. That's where that might be Chaya Bhavabhas. And so if we commit Vaishnava Aparad, then what to speak of that leaving, even if somebody's at the highest level of Shuddha Bhav, that bhav will vanish. If one repeatedly associates with those who desire liberation, his bhav will also become bhavabhas, or he may fall victim to the pride of thinking himself to be Ishvar. This is why it is sometimes seen that when new bhaktas are dancing, they develop the desire for liberation. These new bhaktas do not think carefully and consider their situation, and so they associate with those who seek liberation, which results in disturbances. New bhaktas, new devotees, should therefore carefully avoid the association of people who aspire for liberation. Occasionally, the state of bhav is seen to arise in someone suddenly and without apparent cause. The explanation for this is that he has practiced sadhan extensively in his previous birth, but that practice could not bear fruit until now because of various kinds of hindrances or impediments. However, Shuddha Bhav suddenly arose in his heart when these obstacles were removed. Sometimes an excellent state of bhav like this may also arise suddenly because of Krishna's causeless mercy. This kind of bhav is known as Shri Krishna Prasada Ja Bhav, which we read about yesterday. One should not criticize a person in whom true bhav has manifested, even though one may observe some slight fault in his behavior. For once bhav has arisen, the sadhak becomes completely successful in all his endeavors. Under such circumstances, it is not possible for him to behave sinfully. But if any sinful behavior is sometimes observed, it should be understood in one of two ways. The Mahapurush Bhakta may have performed some sinful activity by force of circumstances, but he cannot possibly remain in that condition permanently. Alternatively, some semblance of sin, some pap abhas from his previous life present even after bhav has arisen in him, although it will be destroyed very soon. One should think like this and not pay any attention to the commonplace faults that may be seen in bhaktas, for it is nam aparad to do so. The Nrsimha Purana forbids us to absorb our attention in such faults. Bhagavati cha harav ananya cheta, vrishya malinopi virajate manushya. Nahi shashakalusha chavi kadachit, timira paro bhavatang upaiti chandra. Just as the moon is never obscured by darkness, even though covered with black spots. Similarly, a person exclusively devoted to Sri Hari remains glorious, though by appearance he may be wicked and depraved. It should not be concluded from this instruction that a bhakta repeatedly engages in sinful activities. No, he doesn't repeatedly engage in sinful activities. Once a bhakta has developed nishta and bhakti, he will have no inclination to sin further. However, as long as a material body exists, there is a chance that sinful activity will occur unexpectedly. If a bhakta is exclusively devoted, the influence of his bhajan immediately burns to ashes all kinds of sins, just as a blazing fire easily consumes a small heap of cotton, and he becomes cautious not to become victimized by any sinful activity again. All kinds of sinful actions are dissipated at the stage of steady, uninterrupted Ananya Bhakti. So it may be clearly understood that those who repeatedly engage in sinful activities have not yet developed this type of bhakti. To engage repeatedly and knowingly in sinful activity while practicing bhakti yoga is nam aparad, which uproots bhakti completely and casts it aside. Bhaktas therefore keep themselves distant from such offenses. Rati is by nature restless, ashanti. It is warm, it is vigorous, and blissful, because it is perpetually full of increasing spiritual longing, abhilash. Although it produces warmth in the form of sanchari bhav, it is more cooling than millions of moons, and it tastes as sweet as nectar. When Rajanath and Vijay Kumar heard this explanation of Bhav Tattva, they were wonderstruck and sat silently for a while, absorbed in thoughts of Bhav. After some time, they said, Prabhu, the powerful rain of your nectarian instructions has created a flood of prema in our scorched hearts. Now, what should we do? Where should we go? We cannot understand anything. It is very difficult for us to attain bhav because our hearts are bereft of humility. We are full of pride because of our Brahman birth, and the only thing that can save us is your abundant love and mercy. If you bestow a drop of prema on us, we shall certainly achieve our objective. Our only hope is that we have been able to establish a spiritual relationship with you. We are extremely poor. We are extremely poor, wretched, and destitute. And you are Krishna's dear associate and supremely merciful. Please be merciful to us and instruct us as to our duty. Vijay Kumar took advantage of the opportunity and said, At this very moment, Prabhu, the desire is arising in me to renounce householder life and obtain residence as a servant of your lotus feet. Rajanath is just a boy, and his mother wants him to become a grahasta, but he does not desire to do so. Please give your instruction as to what he should do in this connection. Babaji, you have both received Krishna's mercy. You should serve Krishna by transforming your household into Krishna's household. Everyone should act according to the instructions which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to the world. He taught that there are two ways by which one may worship Bhagavan while in this world. One may live as a householder or in the renounced order. Until one is qualified to take up the renounced order, he should remain a householder and engage in Krishna's service. In the first 24 years of his manifest pastimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed the ideal for a Grahasta Vaishnav, and during his last 24 years, he set the ideal for a renounced Vaishnav. Mahaprabhu's example as a Grihasta established the goal of householder life. In my opinion, you should also do the same. You should not think that one cannot obtain the goal of Krishna Prem in householder life. Most of Mahaprabhu's favored devotees were Grihastas, and even Vaishnavas in the renounced order of life, they pray for the dust from the lotus feet of those Grihasta Bhaktas. The night was far advanced. Vijay Kumar and Rajanath spent the whole night in Srivas Angan, chanting the glories of Sri Hari in the company of the other Vaishnavas. At dawn the next morning, they finished their ablutions, bathed in the Ganga, and then offered Dandavat Pranam at the feet of their Gurudev and the Vaishnavas. So they stayed up the whole night doing kirtan because it was a Kadashi, right? And they were doing Nirjal. We read that at the beginning of the chapter. So they stayed up the whole night in the company chanting the glories of Sri Hari. Because that's ideally how we should observe Akadashi, is all night. I mean, I never do that, but yeah. So at dawn the next morning, they finished their ablutions, bathed in the Ganga, and offered to their Gurudev and the Vaishnavas. Then they again performed Sankirtan, took Mahaprasad, and returned home before noon. Vijay Kumar called his sister and said, "Now Rajanath will marry, so you should make the necessary preparations. I am going to Modadruma for a few days. You can send news to me when you have fixed a date for the wedding. I shall come with other family members to enhance the auspicious marriage ceremony. I shall send my young brother Harinath here tomorrow. He will stay here and arrange everything." Rajanath's mother and paternal grandmother felt as if they had obtained sovereignty over the earth. Completely overjoyed, they presented Vijay Kumar with new clothes and other gifts before they bade him farewell. Thus ends the 22nd chapter of Jaiva-dharma entitled Prameya, the commencement of Prayojana-tattva. Interesting. Now we begin. Well, tomorrow it's 8 o'clock, so we'll end here. Perfect timing. And tomorrow we will begin chapter 23, Prameya Nam Tattva. So, yeah, tomorrow we'll read the chapter on Nam Tattva, and then after that is Nam Aparad, then Nam Abhas, and then that's the end of the second division of Jaiva-dharma. I really need to hear some instructions on Nam Tattva. So, yeah, this is really great. All right. Thank you so much for joining. I'll do Mahamantra and end with Jai Dwani. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. जय श्री सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि की जय, श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय, श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जय, जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय, श्री परम गुरुदेव की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री रूपानुगौर्य गुरु वर्ग की जय, स्वापार साची गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीगण की जय, श्री गिरिराज महाराज की जय, श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, जय श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय, जय श्री जैव-धर्म की जय, श्री रघुनाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय, श्री विजय कुमार की जय, व्रजनाथ की जय, जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, समस्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवाश्च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रददेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Dandava pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatharani Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook, Pradumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Premavati Didi, Wangshi Wala Prabhu, Hari Priya Didi, Vangshi Wala Prabhu is asking, did I post the Jaiva Dharma study guide that Tridandi Maharaj made somewhere? No, I didn't, but you can find it on, go to bvtridandi.com. Yeah, just go to bvtridandi.com and so bvtridandi.com, and you'll see there's a section that says study guides, and there's study guides for all sorts of books, and one of them is Jaiva-dharma. So yeah, you'll find it there. Um, all right. Wait, let me see if there are any more comments. Sorry, the audio was cutting out. Yeah, I had to move to my mobile data. Um, is there anything anybody wants to mention before I end? Okay. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Haribol.